Tonight's story is called A Voice from the Past. It tells of a young man who, by means of tuition from a correspondence school, developed an iron will. Eventually, he decided he would be better without it.
Tremaine, ghost of my giddy girlhood. How goes it, erstwhile old hockey knocker?
Why, if it isn't Muriel Branksome.
And what if it isn't? Because it's not.
Not what?
Not Branksome, more Mulliner.
Well, look, I know I've been abroad and I may be a bit out of touch, but you seem to be speaking in riddles. What's more Mulliner?
I am. Reading from left to right, Muriel Mulliner. Scratched from the maiden stakes and now running in the matrimonial handicap.
Good grief. Well, I don't know. Do you mean to tell me you went and married that spineless worm, Sir Chevron Mulliner?
Certainly not. I mean I went and married that woolly bar lamb and prince among men, Sir Chevron Mulliner.
Well, if you say so. But I'd have thought he was definitely the type the poet Burns had in mind when he spoke of wee, sleekit, cowering, timorous beasties going about with panic in our breasties.
Yes. Well, I won't say that Sir Chevron's breastie was entirely free of panic, but that's not his fault, poor pet. It's all due to that headmaster phobia of his.
What headmaster phobia?
It was all part of the general helplessness that brought out all my maternal instincts. He crept into my heart with his shy manner, his modest disposition, and the way he did tricks with a bit of string. He's jolly good at that, you know.
It's something, I suppose.
But mostly it was his gentle personality. Don't forget, I was brought up in the Shires, surrounded by breezy, confident young bimbos who wore gaiters and smacked them with their riding crops. I suppose subconsciously I'd always yearned for something different.
And you've got it.
Yes, but not without difficulty. There were hurdles. My father, for one. You know my father.
Yes, Colonel Sir Edford's Branksome. Unless he's changed his name as well.
I don't mean his name, I mean his nature. As tough an egg as ever said yoicks to a foxhound. But we had to have his permission, so I invited Sir Chevron down to the Towers. I must say father did him well. Gave him our best guest room, the Blue Suite, and stood by with his oldest port. But I was worried, right from that first breakfast when he told me about his terrible old headmaster.
Surely headmasters are supposed to strike terror and all that.
Oh, yes, but apparently this one was something special. A sort of blend of Epstein's Genesis and something out of the Book of Revelations, but less fun.
I can assure you, Muriel, that it was rumoured that J.G. Smethurst chewed broken bottles and devoured his young.
Whoa, sounds a bit of a tartar.
Bit of a tartar? Let me tell you that when Tartars gather to discuss some particularly unpleasant individual, they refer to him as a bit of a J.G. Smethurst. I strongly suspected him of holding blood sacrifices behind the Fives Court at full moon.
What did he do to you, my little hunted hare? Beat ya?
Oh, there was no need for that. Just the sound of his voice and I was reduced to mincemeat. I remember on one occasion I was bouncing a golf ball against the school wall and catching it, only this time I missed it and it bounced a bit too high, straight over my shoulder, and it went in through the head's window just as he was about to lean out. I didn't realise what had happened at first until I heard this great voice above me, as if it were coming from heaven. Mulliner, it said. Mulliner.
And?
That's all. Just the one word, but you didn't hear it as I heard it, and as I still hear it in my worst dreams and waking nightmares. Mulliner.
Mulliner!
Oh. Luckily, I was taken away from school shortly after that.
Oh, well, perhaps it's just as well. Maybe after that baptism of fire, Father won't seem so bad. But if you think it's going to be a picnic, you're very much mistaken. Father's a gorilla. I remember when I was engaged to my cousin Bernard...
Well, you were engaged to your cousin?
Yes. Didn't I tell you?
No.
Ah, yes. I used to be engaged to my cousin Bernard, but I broke it off because he tried to boss me. A little bit too much of the dominant male about dear old B, so I handed him his hat. Yes. We're still good friends, though. But the thing I was saying was that Bernard used to gulp like a seal and stand on one leg when Father came along, and he's in the Guards, so that just goes to show you.
Yes, indeed. Well, I'll have to try and think of something to impress him. I know a fair deal about the Russian ballet. Or perhaps I should have brought my silk Japanese prints.
No, I'm afraid you haven't got the message, Sir Chevron. Chat about the price of wheat, about the sheep in sickness and in health, turnips you have met, that sort of thing. It's no use. Ah, morning, Father.
Morning, my dear. Ah! So this is the young fella, is it? Good to see ya. Milliner, isn't it? Well, we can't call you that. What's your first name?
Sir Chevron, sir.
Sir who?
No, sir, nobody. No,
No, Father. Sir Chevron. S for sweet, A for angelic, C for cuddly.
All right. Well, as I was saying, good to see ya, Milliner. Sit down, boy, sit down. Well, I'm sorry I wasn't up to welcome you last night. It's a bed, you know.
Oh, yes, indeed, sir, but I'm glad to see you like a nice lie-in the morning. I do myself.
Lie in? What you talking about? I've been up since 6. This is my second breakfast. Up to look at me mangled wurzels.
I'm sorry, sir. I didn't know that you bred them.
Grew them, Father.
Oh, yes, indeed. Grew them, yes. They must be a blaze of colour this time of year.
Damn good crop, if that's what you mean. Know what I put it down to? Manure. That's the answer. What's that muck you're eating?
Kedgeree, sir.
Ugh, horrible-looking gunk. Can't think why we're serving slop like that.
Well, I ordered it especially, sir. I've always eaten kedgeree for as long as I can remember. Mother said I needed the roughage.
Good God. Well, it's your stomach. What were we talking about? Manure.
Yes, sir. Speaking of remembering and times past, sir, how do you like Proust?
I don't like these chemical fertilizers. I stand by manure.
Yes, we've noticed.
Had enough, eh? Quite right. Save your appetite till luncheon. I can promise you a treat. Saddle of mutton. Recommend it.
Oh, splendid.
One of my own flock, Southdown. Fine young ewe.
You mean a sheep?
Where the devil do you suppose mutton comes from?
Well, I'd never really thought of it before. Eating a sheep.
Not a whole one.
And afterwards, what do you think? Glass of the 08.
Oh, 8.
08!
Oh. 8?
Port, my love. Our best year.
Oh, fine. As long as I can have mine with lemonade in it. No. Well, no, I should expect I'll be able to manage without. I shall feel like Ulysses gazing on the wine-dark sea. And speaking of Ulysses, sir, what do you think of Joyce?
Joyce who?
No, James Joyce.
Never heard of either of them.
I don't suppose you'd care to see a trick with a bit of string.
You're quite right. I wouldn't.
Yes, well, I think we'll leave you to the old trough, Father. Come along, Chucklehead.
Manure. Very good. Oh, dear.
Yes. Well, he didn't actually bite you in the leg, but when you've said that, you've said everything. Dogface, my demon lover, you did not endear yourself.
But how could I? I know so little of mangel-wurzels, and manure's a closed book to me.
Yes, of course, I should have thought of that. Curiously enough, I was reading this magazine last week, and I noticed an advertisement for a correspondence school that teaches everything from aardvark handling to zither playing, including scientific agriculture. You see, you just put a cross against that, cut it out, and shove it off in the post with your cheque.
Do you think it'll work?
What can you lose?
For the full course in advance, 15 guineas.
Exactly. A mere bagatelle for the woman you love. Send that cheque, take that course, get a little smart, and I'm yours, old horse.
Yes, I'll do it. It'll be splendid to throw off a good thing from time to time on,
Guano? Or the influence of dip on the younger Leicestershire sheep. Yes, Father would be absolutely delighted. But for now, if I were you, I'd get yourself urgently called back to London.
will he believe it?
He'll second it.
I'll pack straight away.
That's my little 15-guinea Galahad. Godspeed, Wonder Boy.
Yes.
Father, Sir Chevron's been urgently called back to London.
Thank God for that.
That's what I like about you, Father. The way you conceal your grief.
Did he take the course?
Oh, yes. I didn't hear about all this until long after. But he clipped the coupon, enclosed his cheque, and told them to shoot the works. But as the lessons went on, he found himself getting more and more puzzled and peeved. And by the time the 7th lesson came, he was livid. He decided the school was deliberately hornswoggling him, and he was going to show them that they couldn't get away with it.
Yeah?
I wish to speak to Jano B. Philbrick Mudger.
Sorry, can't see him without an appointment, mate.
Indeed. Should you wish to retain this ear, you will remove it and yourself from my path. Otherwise, it goes into that office without you.
Yes, sir.
Jano B. Philbrick Mudger.
That's my name, yes.
Sit. Now listen to me, Philbrick. I paid 15 guineas in advance for a course on scientific agriculture. I have here the 7 lessons you have sent me to date. If you can find one word in them remotely connected with anything to do with scientific agriculture, I'll eat my hat and yours too, Philbrick. Stop clicking. I came here to be explained to, not clicked at.
Dear me, how very curious.
Philbrick, it is not curious. It is disgraceful and disgusting. I intend to take the strongest possible measures to give this outrage the widest and most pitiless exposé.
Please, I appreciate your indignation, Mr. Malina. I do sympathise, but I assure you there was no deception. Merely a blunder on the part of our clerical staff. I shall severely reprimand him. What happened was, you received the wrong course.
Oh, wrong course, eh?
Exactly. And I think you'll agree that such immediate results are a testimony to our system.
Results? What results?
Mr. Malina, what you've been studying for the past weeks is our course on how to acquire complete self-confidence and iron will.
Self-confidence, eh? Iron will.
Precisely.
Yes. Yes, now you mention it, I have been aware lately of being able to look taxi drivers in the eye. Refusing to step off pavements. Not caring if I got a lady assistant.
All part of the service. We shall, of course, also supply your original lessons in agriculture.
No, forget him. I only needed those in order to suck up to some old bore to ask permission to marry his daughter. Now I'll simply inform him of my intentions as a matter of courtesy. If he doesn't like it, well... Good God!
What is it?
That taxi.
Well, we're close to St. Pancras. They're not uncommon.
They are when they have my fiancée in them with another man. And so Cousin Bernard, I'll bet, has got a guard's tie on. And I'll tell you something else. They have the look of a couple on their way to lunch.
Harmless enough, surely?
Harmless. Hobnobbing in taxis. Revelling tete-a-tete at luncheon tables. Just the sort of behaviour that got the sitters of the plane so disliked. I'm no prude, Philbrick. I flatter myself that I'm essentially broad-minded in my outlook. But if that girl thinks I'm going to stand by like a clam while she goes on Babylonian orgies with pop-eyed, smirking guardees, she's in for a rude awakening right now. And I do not, Philbrick, mean maybe.
Albert? Albert, shove another 3 guineas on our self-confidence course.
Hello, old streptococcus. I telephoned you earlier to ask you to give me a bite of lunch, but you were out, so I roped in old Bernard instead, and we buzzed off to the Savoy in a taxi.
I saw you.
Did you, you poor old chum? Why didn't you give us a yell?
I have no desire to meet your cousin Bernard, and while we're on this distasteful subject, I must request you not to see him again.
You must how much?
I do not wish you to continue your cousin Bernard's acquaintanceship. I don't like his looks, nor do I approve of my fiancée lunching alone with young men.
You want me to tie a can to poor old Bernard?
I insist upon it.
But why? We've known each other since we were children.
If you survived childhood knowing Bernard, I suggest you're grateful and leave it at that. Why risk coming up for more punishment by seeking him out now? Anyway, there we are. I've told you my wishes and you will respect them. And now there's another matter I wish to speak to you about. I would be grateful if you'd arrange to put me up at the Towers this weekend. I wish to speak to your father urgently on the question of our engagement. It's high time the old man learned of our plans.
Just like that? Mm-hmm. You're going to tell him just like that?
Indeed.
You're not bothered at all?
My only fear is that he might madly attempt some opposition to my plans. I have no desire to scorch the old man to a crisp. There we are. I will see you on Saturday.
Well, I was knocked for a loop at first. I mean, the last time I'd seen this bird, he'd made a shrinking violet look like a Chicago gangster. And now, here he was, shooting off his head like Stalin, telling the Russian civil service they were down for a 12% salary cut. Something had to be done. Hello, is that you, Bernard? Now, listen.
Got here in 45 minutes flat from Charing Cross. Not so bad, eh?
Hello there. Welcome to the Ancestral. I'm the old boy's nephew, by the way, Bernard.
Yes. Yes, I know. What are you doing here? Oh, I see the old man invited you, did he?
No, young you, actually.
Oh.
You too, I gather. She told me about you. So Chevron Mulliner, ain't it? Or may I call you Sashes? Bit of a mouthful, whole thing, what? You don't mind, do you?
I do rather, yes. I prefer Mr. Mulliner, if the 5 syllables aren't too much for you.
Oh, yes. Right.
Good.
Ah, you got here then.
Clearly.
Any sign of the bish yet? The Bishop of Bogness coming to confirm a bevy of the local yokels.
Indeed.
No, Father said he got a telegram to say that he was going to be late-ish, so we won't wait dinner.
Ah, well, I might as well go up and start disguising myself as a waiter then.
I take it I'm in the blue suite, as before?
No, as a matter of fact, you're in the garden room.
Oh.
You see, we've decided
Yes.
to keep...
I see perfectly.
But the silly old sap didn't see at all. The blue suite was being kept for the bishop, but he thought he'd been elbowed out of the star treatment by Bernard. All of which didn't make for a very jolly dinner party. There was Sir Chevron, brooding over what he thought was a snub. There was me, brooding over Sir Chevron, and Father was in one of his fouler moods. It would be a night we had spinach.
Gah! What is this dashed, slossy, disgusting, slithery, gangrene mess?
It's spinach, Father.
Then take it away and give it to the cats. You know I hate spinach.
But it's good for you.
Who says it's good for me?
All the doctors, it bucks you up when you haven't got enough hemoglobins.
I've got plenty of hemoglobins, more than I know what to do with.
It's full of iron, Uncle.
Iron? Iron? Do you take me for a sword swallower? Are you under the impression that I'm an ostrich and I should browse on iron? Perhaps you'd like me to tuck away a few doorknobs, or a couple of pairs of roller skates, or a small portion of tea tacks. Iron, forsooth.
Bring some. Eat your spinach.
What's that? Hey?
You will eat your nice spinach immediately, Ransom.
Hey! What have we here? Spinach, eh? Capital. Full of iron, I believe, and highly recommended by the medical profession.
Ransom, I shall wish to speak to you in your study immediately after dinner.
You can imagine how I felt about this change in Sir Chevron. I didn't like it one bit. And after dinner, I went and took it out on the piano with one of those Russian pieces that needs a good deal of overhand drive. It relieved my nerves, and by the time Sir Chevron came out of Father's study, I was ready for him.
Do sit down. Well, I put your father in his place at dinner, what? Put him right where he belongs, I think. He's not so hot. The way you talked about him, anybody would think he was the real Ginger. Quite the reverse, I found. A soft-spoken old bird as one could wish to meet. The moment I told him of our engagement, he came up to me, rubbed his head against my legs, and rolled over with his paws in the air.
What?
Our engagement.
Oh, I see. You told him you were engaged, did you?
I certainly did.
Well, you can jolly well go back and tell him you were talking through the top of your hat.
That last remark again, if you please.
Certainly. 100 times, if you wish. Get this well into your fat head. Memorize it, if you will. If necessary, write it on your cuff. I won't marry you. I wouldn't marry you for a substantial bet or to please an old school friend. So there.
This sounds like the bird.
It is the bird.
Are you really giving me the old raspberry?
I am.
Don't you love your little Sir Chevron?
I think my little Sir Chevron is a mess. So there.
You said that.
And I shall say it again as many times as I wish. So there. So there, so there, so there, so there, so there.
But why? Bernard. Yes, that's it. Well, we'll soon fix him.
The silly chump had got it wrong again. Off he went to the Blue Suite to wait for O.B. and give him the full force of his new iron will. And a good long wait he was in for, because, as I said, the Blue Suite was reserved for the Bish, not Bernard.
I am so sorry, my dear Colonel, to have kept you up this late. It was the carburetor, I understand.
Pray don't mention it, my dear Bishop. Well, here we are.
Thank you. I feel sure that tomorrow I shall be less fatigued and in a position to meet the rest of your guests.
There's only one besides my nephew Bernard, young fella named Mulliner.
Mulligan?
Mulliner.
Ah, yes, Mulliner.
Well, I trust you'll be quite comfortable, my dear Bishop.
I am convinced of it, my dear Colonel.
Good night, my dear Bishop.
Good night, my dear Colonel.
Of course, obviously, what had happened was that the Reverend J.G. Smethurst had been made a bishop while Sir Chevron wasn't looking. But also, obviously, in the process, his voice had lost none of its power to terrify the lad out of his wits.
But what about all this newfound iron will of his?
Gone with the wind, collapsed, dropped like a dowager's dewlaps. Sir Chevron had reverted to a 15-year-old jelly. And under the bed he stayed for a full hour, until he was sure the Bish was asleep and snoring, not just humming one of the song hits from the Psalms. Then he crawled out, groped his way across the room, trying to tiptoe about 3 inches above the floor and not let his ears rustle in the breeze from the window, opened the door and stepped into the safety of the corridor.
Who is there? Who is there?
Who is there?
Me, sir.
I thought I heard a noise, my dear Bishop. Is something the matter?
Yes, my dear Colonel, a burglar.
A burglar?
A burglar. He's in the bathroom.
Then how extremely fortunate that I should have chanced to bring along this battle axe and this shotgun.
It's all right.
Good heavens! He says it's all right.
Why does he say it's all right?
I didn't ask him. He simply said it was all right.
But it is not all right. and I'm at a loss to understand why the fellow should affect to assume that it is. Now, my dear Colonel, I think our method of procedure would be as follows. You take the shotgun and stand in readiness, and I will hew down the door with this admirable battle axe.
Meanwhile, completely unable to sleep, I'd got up and was sitting by the window, dreaming my girlish dreams of hitting Sir Chevron over the head with a brick, and yet yearning for the old, timid, helpless, fluttering pipsqueak who'd only made me want to stroke his hair and offer him lumps of sugar. And then, suddenly, there he was, coming towards me over the roof like a hunted gazelle. Well, what do you want?
As a matter of fact, I was wondering if I might hide under your bed for a bit.
Who are they?
Headmasters, hordes of headmasters, and colonels, coveys of colonels with shotguns and battle axes. Save me. Save me, please, Muriel.
Oh, come right in. Oh, there.
Listen.
Just quick under my bed, you'll be safe now. Now tell me all about it.
Well, I was in the Blue Suite and a bishop came in and he turned out to be J.G. Smethurst.
What were you doing in the Blue Suite?
Well, I went there to tell Bernard he could marry you over my dead body.
What a revolting idea. I don't see how it could have been done anyway. But what made you think I was going to marry Bernard?
Well, I thought that's why you gave me the bird.
No, I gave you the bird because you turned into a beastly, barking, bullying, overbearing blighter.
Had I? Yes, I suppose I had.
Oh, dear. Father's tripped over the dinner gong. That won't improve his temper.
Is there a good milk train this morning?
Yes, there's one about 3:40.
I'll catch it.
Ah, well. I suppose it won't be long before we meet again. One of these fine days, I'll pop up to London, we'll have a spot of lunch and get married.
Married? Muriel, do you really mean you'll marry me?
Yes, of course I do. The past is dead. You're my own sweet angel pet again. And I love you madly.
I say, I've just remembered I paid 15 guineas for a course of 20 lessons and I've stopped it after 6 and now I don't think I've the nerve to go back and ask for a refund.
And don't you ever find it, my little sheep in sheep's clothing.
Oh.
Just stay as sweet as you are. Bless your little craven heart.